YouTuber Seth here, and today I'm bringing you a video. This one is a showcase and review of the Frostval rewards, more specifically the gift boxes and the delivery war armor. Now, coming into the Frostval boxes, which most of us are really hyped about, they're based on Game of Thrones, but more specifically, a new status in game called Murderkillocity, or MK is what I'm going to call it for the sake of this video anyway. Now, what MK does is it's essentially a counter which you get after defeating monsters in battle using items from the MK set. And the stronger the monster, the more you get. That's essentially how it works. And you can use MK to power up your attacks on from the weapon, the spell, the armor, the pets, and reduce damage from the shield. So coming into the armor first. It's fantastic, it's gorgeous, absolutely. It's based on Watches of the Night in Adventure Quest World, if I'm not mistaken, but it's been ported over to AQ, and it covers 3 elements, as a matter of fact. Its primary, 39% to wind, and 2 secondaries at 42% each to ice and earth, so you can essentially cover 3 elements with this armor. So that is something that's absolutely brilliant, not to mention the fact that people have been just going on about its artwork. It looks fantastic, and it's based on how Jon Snow normally looks when he's wearing the Night's Watch uniform. And now it's got 2 skills. One is it boosts your damage, called I don't remember the names. Either way, it boosts your damage by 5% every time you activate it, and costs about 100% MK. You've got 2,000 in total, so it takes 100 out of it. And another one that boosts your accuracy by 4 BTH. Essentially, they're 5% equivalent, and you can do this up to 4 times. That is, up to 400 MK can be spent per battle. Now, you can arrange it in any way you want. You can go full accuracy, full damage, or a combination of the two. It's really up to you. This is fantastic because, if you combine it with the weapon, which obviously gets a 15% boost at the cap and takes about the same. I think the weapons are based on Longclaw, the sword that Jon Snow has on Game of Thrones. And while they're simple, they look amazing, and the whole set is, well, it looks fantastic, to be fairly honest. Some of us were disappointed because it was another wind set, but let's face it, what the fuck was it called? Yeah, Tacky Santa, or Hobo Santa, more likely. It didn't exactly, its artwork was not too great, and the fact that it gave up its damage didn't really appeal to a lot of people. This armor, on the other hand, is all about damage. You deal damage on the pet, the spell, the weapon, and you essentially get back damage when you defeat a monster. So, in case you're looking for a new wind armor and you're hopelessly tired of Horde's ire, and you're a guardian, this is something you do not want to. Well, it's already rare now, but for those of you who already had the foresight to purchase the gift boxes, well, this is your reward. Now, enough about the armor. Coming to the weapons, like I said, they're based on Longclaw, the Mormont's house sword from Game of Thrones. Although it's got a wolf head instead of, the bear. But I'm not complaining. They're simple, but they get the job done, and they actually look pretty good, to be fairly honest. And we lack good wind swords, which are mastercrafted, so this is definitely a plus. Now, these weapons can boost their damage by 15% for about 300 MP. Of course, the counters for the armor, the pets, and the spell are separate, so you can boost them up to the max damage individually as long as you have the required MK. Now, coming to the 3 of them. One's the regular Longclaw, one is the Mystic one, and one is the Glaive. So your warrior, mage, or ranger, you should be satisfied, and I'm sure sometime in the future you will be able to switch them in the account management section. So if you change your build, it shouldn't really be an issue. Now, coming to the damage output. Now, to be fairly honest, while I was recording this video, you might not be seeing incredibly high numbers, and there's a few reasons for it. Now, for the first part, I used, what's it called, the Ultimate Dragon Scythe of Elements. I normally use a shorthand term, huge scythe, whatever. It deals 15% damage less, so, you know, it sort of counteracts it, so you might not be seeing huge numbers. And the fact that Hydromancer Bloodblade for me doesn't deal as much damage as it should, and somehow it's coming up on the screen as well, as you can see it. Now, as most of you might know, might be aware, I'm huge on how something looks. Despite how amazing it is statistically, or if it's got amazing stats, or absolutely godly, but if it looks shit, I'm not going to use it. Which is why I come to this set in particular. It's great, it's really something else. I mean, it looks great, it looks fantastic in my opinion, and it deals good damage, so that's a win-win. In fact, this is probably the best Frostval set to have come out since, I don't know, the Deadpool Frostval Mercenary, about 2014 if I recall correctly. So that just goes to show we've got the Minecraft and the Tacky Santa in recent years, and they were not really that good aside from a couple of items here and there. Of course, Pixel had the Minecraft set had the Pixel Ether, which, you know, converted SP into mana. And last year's, I think the only good item was the big dictionary, which was only good for rangers and beast mages. So that's that. This one, on the other hand, is oriented more towards those who deal damage. So warriors, polar mages, rangers all get their, you know, it's a really good thing, and considering it's free essentially, it costs gold, so that's definitely a plus point about all of this. Now, coming to the spell of this set, it's pretty simple. It's essentially you summoning a green dragon, which is a one-headed Trigoris, to you get MK when you cast it, but sometimes it uses the MK to boost its damage, so it's sort of a win-win situation. But it's the MK you get out of it is very small, so that's definitely a minus point. And it's also attack or fire in Valyrian, I suppose, so it's a nice throwback to those of you who watch Game of Thrones. Now, coming to the pet. Now, the pet is, I think, straight out of Adventure Quest world. Well, I'm not complaining, to be fairly honest. We do not have wolf pets, and while I do wish the pet itself was a bit bigger, I suppose there's not a lot you can complain about. It's a damage pet, no effects or anything of that sort. What it does is it consumes 40 MK to boost its damage by 5%. Now, this is really good a deal, and for about 120 MK you can get 15% more damage on your pet. Fantastic. And there's really not much to complain about, and considering one of my Beastmasters, you know, I've got Beastmasters, and I needed a pet that's a wolf for RP reasons, so yay, I get it, finally. Now, there's also a shield in this set. It's minus 26% to wind, and as I said before, it reduces damage on using MK. Now, at its peak, it's 10.7% reduction, so I personally don't find it that amazing to really make, you know, a section of the video for it, so I'll just talk about it a bit. And that's it, I'm done talking about it. Now, coming to the last segment of this video, it's the delivery ward armor. The war that went on for so many weeks, and it's finally over. And to be fair, it's not amazing, it's not breathtaking, but it gets the job done. It's a dragon mount armor, a dragon that's wearing a sweater, mind you, and it's fire with 2 secondaries to ice, and I don't remember the other one. But its secondaries are not much, it's not like the MK set. And what it does is it switches between fully offensive and fully defensive modes. So the fully offensive mode gets 5% more damage to its attack, and the fully defensive makes your enemies less likely to hit by only slightly, but sufficient. And that's about it. I mean, there's nothing else. It's in case you're a ranger, this is something you definitely want to pick up, and in case you don't want to use Pyromancer, Blood Mage, or all the amazing fire armors out there and you just want to see the dragon wearing a sweater, this is right up your alley. Now, that is all for this video. That's all I had time to cook up of. We don't have the miscellaneous item yet, so I'll probably make a separate video on it, assuming it comes out and it's that good. Anyway, that's all for this video. I really like the set, and I hope you enjoy it too, and I will catch you all next time. Cheers.